What's up, guys? Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar. 6 of my favorite plays for a big Friday night. We're going to hammer away at the mid-range, find you some guys that are underpriced, keep prices down, do a little happy hour here. Who are we looking at? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition, Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Good to be back here in the Fantasy Bar once again with 6 of my favorite plays for a big Friday night on FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Now, before we get into things, guys, a couple things. As we always say before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Very important. Get notified when the videos are coming out. Also, if you enjoy your time here in the Fantasy Bar, whether you're a long timer and you go back years and years, or you are a newer member here in the Fantasy Bar, do me a favor. Click that thumbs up button, guys. Really helps us out over there on YouTube. The tip jar here. Free information, free video for you. All I ask in return is you hit that thumbs up button. Now, let's talk FanDuel. Make sure you go over and get your entry in the single entry series. Bigger buy-in this week, $100 buy-in, but your top 4 scores count for the week, 6 weeks of contests, and chance to win $10,000 at the end if you qualify for that final. So I will be playing in that contest once again here tonight. You want a piece of me? Jump in and secure your entry in the single entry series. All right, let's get into the plays. Before we do that, guys, couple notes. Atlanta and Washington tonight. Did not include anybody here in tonight's 6-pack. Too easy. Could have done an entire 6-pack just on that game. Make sure you get some exposure there. Also, Jason Tatum has earned himself a permanent spot here at the Fantasy Bar. No need to continue to hammer away at that. We've had him in here over the last couple weeks. We're going to give him the free play here. So, basically a 7-pack here today, plus the Atlanta-Washington game. Here we go. All right, let's start in the mid-range. We're going to hammer away a little happy hour. Keep prices down just like your favorite bar down the road. We're going to do the same here in the Fantasy Bar. Let's start at point guard with Dejounte Murray of the Spurs. So really love the spot for Dejounte Murray. A guy I've been very high on. The minutes are always the frustrating part there with the Spurs. So let's hope the minutes of production continues because this guy is absolutely massacring this salary right now. Has exceeded or made value here on both FanDuel and DraftKings in 7 of the last 9 games. And he's not just slightly getting by and making value. He is crushing value. We're seeing ceiling games out of Dejounte Murray. In fact, 4 ceiling games here of 40 or more DraftKings points over the last 9 games. So we know this guy comes with a lot of upside. This is what you're looking for. Guys that can drastically outproduce their salary. And Murray fits the bill here in the matchup. Very good here. The Nets 22nd in defense versus archetype against players like Dejounte Murray. You can find that information on RotoGrinders and in our lineup HQ tool if you're looking for it. But Dejounte Murray leads us off here in a great matchup. I think he smashes here once again under 6K on both FanDuel and DraftKings. All right, let's go to the other side of that game. Let's do a little correlation here with one of my favorite shooting guards, small forward CARIS LEVERT of the Nets. So we talk about upside. CARIS LEVERT certainly fitting the bill here. 260 burgers here over the last 5 games. You saw that epic performance in Boston where he basically put the team on his back in the 4th quarter and in overtime and put a ton of points on the board in that game. But I think this game, intriguing. I think the stack is very viable in this game. A lot of injured pieces on the San Antonio side is going to give you value over there. The Nets, nobody overly expensive here. So other games are going to steal the marquee, steal the headlines. We talked about Atlanta, Washington. We got the Bucks and Lakers late. There's a few other games I think are really going to stand out for people. Or maybe he's trying one of these games in the middle and stack it up. Not the most exciting 2 teams as far as pace goes, but defensive efficiency here. Spurs 23rd against the shooting guard position. CARIS LEVERT been putting up some monster games. I think he does it here once again tonight. Love the correlation with Dejounte Murray, whether you stack it or not, like CARIS LEVERT in all formats here on Friday night. All right, mid-range plays continue at small forward, power forward, TJ Warren of the Pacers. Now, Indiana, interesting situation here tonight. We got to keep an eye on that injury report. Warren himself, questionable. Only a laceration. He's had a couple days. I think he'll be fine. The bigger news, Malcolm Brogdon looking doubtful to play tonight. Victor Oladipo remains questionable. So I think Oladipo will be back. I don't think Brogdon plays. That's going to mean more offense, more usage here. And TJ Warren, a guy, if you're looking at him in cash games, is delivering that floor that you're looking for. Plus, the ceiling has been there. Multiple games where he's gone 40, 50 fantasy points here. So love the upside here at these prices on TJ Warren. What I like even better The matchup with the Chicago Bulls, bottom 10 in fantasy points allowed to the small forward position. The prices have gone up on TJ Warren, but I don't think they've gone up high enough. I think we get a nice ceiling outing here against the Bulls as long as he's in there. Going to be a staple in my lineups across all the sites here tonight. Under 7K on the big sites and under $25 over on Yahoo. All right, the mid-range plays continue here in our happy hour segment at shooting guard, small forward SHAI GILGEOUS-ALEXANDER. So another guy delivering a great floor here, 35 or more FanDuel points now in 5 of the last 7 games. So you're getting ceiling games here as well. You're kind of sensing the theme here. We want the mix of the floor you guys are looking for in your cash games. We also want those guys that are crushing their salaries, and SGA is certainly doing that as well. When you look at the shooting guard position over on FanDuel specifically, it is loaded up with guys. So you're going to be able to pick your favorite shooting guards here tonight. We already talked about CARIS LEVERT. We mentioned that Washington-Atlanta game with Bradley Beal. You got Devin Booker with no DeAndre Ayton, D'Angelo Russell, DeMar DeRozan, Donovan Mitchell, Marcus Smart. The list goes on and on and on. The point is, you're going to get lower ownership on a lot of these guys. And I think SGA, one of those guys that's really going to fall through the cracks. And I want to expose this matchup here with the New York Knicks. Bottom 7 in both defensive efficiency and defense versus archetype. We continue to talk about that. I think it's an underrated aspect to look at rankings rather than just matchups, defense versus position. Let's look at that archetype, and they have struggled against players like SGA here. So we get low ownership here. We get a good matchup. Let's not overthink it. Go back to the well here on SHAI GILGEOUS-ALEXANDER tonight against the New York Knicks. All right, let's get to one of my guys I think is vastly underpriced, remains a good value here in power forward center, Naz Reid of the Timberwolves. Now the small sample police definitely going to come after me for this one, but you got to like what you're seeing here out of Naz Reid. I know we were paying a lot less for him, but even at $5,800, $5,500, there is room for this guy to 8, 9, 10x this salary potentially. Is averaging almost 44 DraftKings points a game over the last 2. So it's really stepped in. And I'm not going to say replace Karl Anthony Towns, but it's done a pretty good impersonation here as far as fantasy points go, putting these big games on the board. Now, matchup, not ideal, but that's going to help us get him at lower ownership. Orlando been very good against bigs this season, no doubt, but this guy continues to play minutes. I know fouls are an issue with Naz Reid, always a worry. Maybe that worries you out of some cash game, Naz Reid, but tournaments, you cannot ignore the ceiling this guy has been giving you. Not a play for everybody. Some will scoff at him being a value. I still think there's plenty of meat on this bone, too cheap, and Naz Reid going to be a big part of my builds here tonight on Friday night. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. But before we do that, guys, we're going to continue to say thank you to you guys for watching the video, for stopping by the Fantasy Bar with our Beasts of the Night contest. All you have to do, get in the comment section right below the video. Let me know fantasy points on DraftKings for my Beasts of the Night. The closest guess is going to win themselves 3 free days of RotoGrinders Premium. That's going to give you access to everything if you're not a premium member already. Any sport, all the information, all the articles, all the videos, lineup HQ, anything you want, absolutely free for you for 3 days. So let's take a look. My favorite play for Friday night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to go to the other side of that Minnesota-Orlando game. We're going to go with power forward Aaron Gordon, tonight's Beast of the Night. So this is one of those pricing plays I find very, very intriguing when you have a huge gap between FanDuel and DraftKings. On FanDuel, I don't know how you don't play Aaron Gordon at 7,100. Is he going to be popular? Yes. Do I care? Absolutely not. I want to be overweight on the field there. Lock him in cash game. DraftKings, 8,600. Some people may scoff at paying that price for a guy like Aaron Gordon. That's where you get a pay up to be contrarian spot here with him over there. So intriguing on both sites for different reason. The last time these two teams played, I'm going to quote my boy Ice Cube again. I'm going to leave the F-bomb out for the kids here, but messed around and got a triple-double in that game against Minnesota. Easily went over 50 fantasy points in that one. In fact, he's done that in 4 of the last 7 games. When you do the math over on FanDuel, we're talking an easy 7x return if he does that again. Lock him in, Aaron Gordon. Easily my favorite play on the night and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for Friday night in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, guys, make sure you get in the comment section and let me know. Let's talk some hoops. Also, get your vote in. Fantasy points for Aaron Gordon on DraftKings. or a shot at 3 free days of RotoGrinders Premium. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Guys, best of luck tonight. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here next week. We're out.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.